Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. This is your coach Mr. Magno. We're now starting module 6 lesson 1 and I want you to take a moment to pause the video and record this information. This is crucial because it's going to help you understand this next module. So what is a coordinate? A coordinate is a number or numbers to indicate a position on a graph. That's what a coordinate is. Okay, and what is a plot? A plot is a mark out. Let me underline this. A mark out or allocated. That means points on a graph. That's what a plot is. You're gonna be reading this on your specific homework when you do this information. So, what is a tick? I know we all know a tick is a bug. But in mathematics, a tick is a mark on a number line. Okay? So you're going to be listening to those terms. Let's move on to the next part. Origin, a place where something begins. That means a fixed point. So that's what the origin is. Okay? Make sure you pause the video and start what is that information. Start making your notes, and remember this is going to be very handy. I'm trying to fix my lighting here as we do this work here. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna turn something else here. All right, let's hope that's better. Okay, yeah, that's much better. Okay, anyway, so remember, pause the video, make these notes, and also as you work on your own problems, please be sure to stop the video and review it. Okay, all right, that's a lot of glare there. Let me see. Oh, all right, we need light here. Okay, anyways, let's see if we can get this working well. All right, that looks like it's not too bad. That is a lot of light, but let's see if it gets better. Okay, so let's just start. For example, if this was a number line, this is the origin. This is what you would call the origin. Okay, and this mark right here, that will be a tick, because you're going to be counting ticks. That's what you're going to be counting. The coordinate, for example, if we had numbers here, for example, that's a 0, starts in 0, or remember, number lines don't always have to start with 0. You can start with a 1. It depends on what you want to do. So let's say you are going to mark a 1, let's say 2 right here. So now these are going to be fourths. And sometimes you will see the numbers not on just on fractions. You also might see decimals. So you make sure you know that. So that way you are able to address this much better. Let's see, what else? The coordinate. So let's say if I had a point on this line, let's say I had a point over here, okay, and the point was called A. That is called we need to find the coordinate for that particular letter. So I know that every 1, 2, 3, 4, every 4 ticks there is a whole number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that will be a 3. So what will be the coordinate of the letter A? Well, the coordinate of the letter A on this particular number line will be 2. That will be 2 and 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3/4. Okay, can I write this as a decimal? That is correct. You can write it as 2 and 7/75. Okay. All right. So let's get to work on some of the activities. So this is something similar you're gonna have for homework. Let me lower this so you can see it better. Let's look at this problem right here. Let's see. Each shape was placed at a point on the number line S. And that's the number line S right there. Give the coordinate of each point below. So we need to find a coordinate for the X, the coordinate for the 0 or the circle, the coordinate for the star, and the square. So we're going to do that. Let's see. So the first thing you gotta do is find out if you are going to be how many ticks are in between one in between the 0 and the 1, or the 1 and the 2, and the 2 and the 3. So we can count this is going to be 1, 2, 3. So one whole is divided into 3 parts. Knowing that, it's going to let us know. So if this is 3 parts, that means it's going to be, this is 1/3, and this is going to be 2/3, and obviously this is going to be 3/3 because it equals 1. So the coordinate for the star is 2/3. Okay, sometimes we're going to have to write it as a decimal form. Remember to do that as well. What if we're looking at the circle? Well, the circle is right here. So the circle is going to be at the position of 1 hole, 2 holes, and we know that each tick is 1/3. So this is 1/3. So now we know that the answer for the circle is going to be 2 and 1/3. And you know what? Let me make a correction here. This is not correct. This is not 75/100. Remember that I gave you these measurements. 1/3 equals 0.33 hundredths. So this is 2/3. That means twice the number. So it's about 66 hundredths. And over here, this is going to be 2, and 1/3, like I said, is 33 hundredths. Okay, now let's find another one. Let's find the coordinate for the x. Oh, well, look, easy. It's a whole number. We don't have to worry about finding the fraction. So the x is at mark number 3, which is the tick number 3. Okay, number 4, no, the square is on 4. Again, this is 1/3. This is 2/3. So that's going to be 4 and 2/3. 4 and 2/3. Again, like we said before, 1/3 equals 33 hundredths. So if we're going to write as decimal, it's going to be 4 and 66 hundredths, because 2/3 is twice this number up here. Okay, so far so good. I hope you're getting this information, because it's going to get a little more complex. Remember, we always start simple. All right, let me switch this right here. Plot the points on the number lines. Okay, it says, this one says to plot A so that its distance from the origin, it's 2. And remember, the origin is the beginning. So here's the beginning. And the distance from the origin is 2. So as you can see, there is no 2 on the number line, right? So let's see. So, oh, look at this. This is divided in 3 parts. So this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. And it says plot A so that its distance from the origin is 2. So here's where A should be. A should be right about 2, because that's what the directions say. So now we found the coordinate for A. And notice that this is a number line that is diagonal. So don't worry about it. It's okay. You can still work with it. On this one, it says plot R so that its distance from the origin is 5 halves. Okay, so 5 halves, which means, so this is the origin, and we're gonna count halves because it says five of them, right? This is 1 half, 2 halves, 3 halves, 4 halves, 5 halves. So this will be 5 halves, and that's where R will be. And if you want to make this into numbers, remember, these are equivalent to these ticks right here. This is a 2, this is a 3. So the answer for that one will be 3 and 1/2. So 5 halves will be the same thing as 3 and 1. Let's see, 3 and 1/2. Okay. All right, let's look at the back of this page, which is something similar you're gonna have. Oops, excuse for the markings on the back. Oops. Okay, let's see. Now, it says plot L so that its distance from the origin is 20. So the origin should be somewhere in here, right? It starts with 0. So it says that on this one, it says 20. So, oh, looks, you got to pay attention to this. This is starting from the 0 is on the right side, not on the left. So if we're going to look at this, we need to see how much each tick is. So if this is 35, can we say this is 40? Okay, that makes sense. Can we say this is 45? And after 45 is 50. Okay, that will be correct. So 35, 40, 45, and now it's 50. So if we go backwards, it looks like the pattern is going backwards by 5. So 35, this will be 30. This will be 25, and this will be 20. Now we're going to plot L. That's where L will be. It's 20, the distance from the origin. Even though we cannot see the origin, we can imagine that the 0 is somewhere all the way over here. Okay? All right, let's look at the next one. Plot a point T so that its distance from the origin is 2/3. Okay, so it's 2/3. Oh, look at this. This is a little tricky. You gotta read this carefully. It says it's 2/3 more than that of S. Okay, so let's see, where is the origin first? Okay, the origin must be on before the number 4. So the origin comes from here, from the 4, and it says that T is the distance from the origin is 2/3 more than S. So if S is, okay, oh, let's see this. Look at this. This is the 4 and this is the 5. So on this one, on this one, if this is 4, okay, so when you skip this one is 4 and 1/3. So this should be 4 and what? 2/3, right? And one more third will be 5. So that's correct. So now it's the instructions are saying that plot T so that its distance from the origin is 2/3 more than that of S. Okay, so it has to be 2/3 more. Okay, so if this is S, and so we have to do 2/3 more, and I know that every time I go 2 of them, it's gonna be 1/3, as you can see on this side. So that will be 1/3. This is 2 more, so it has to be more than S, right? So that's 1, and this is another third. 1/3 and 1/3. When you put them together, that's 2/3. So that is where T will be. T will be right there. Now, what will be the measurement there? Well, every tick is gonna be it's now, if you count all the ticks, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5, 6 ticks. So now that part is gonna be 4 and 5 sixes, which is how you plot that number. Okay. All right. So how many ticks from 5 will be? So that'll be, how many ticks will be away from this one? It will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how many ticks the T will be from S. 4 ticks away. All right, let's look at the next one. It says the number line G is labeled from 0 to 6. Use the number line G below to answer the questions. Plot point A at 3/4. Okay. Let me, if I can bring this down a little more, because it looks a little far. So plot A at 3/4. So if, notice again that the number line is decreasing. It's not always increasing. You will always start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is decreasing. So now, if this is decreasing, here is the origin. So from the origin, it says plot A at 3/4. So it's going to be, I notice that this is 4 parts. So each of these is 1/4. This is 1/4, and this is 1/4. So every division between whole numbers is 4 parts. And 3/4 will be 1, 2, 3. So A will be labeled there. Now, from here on, the instructions get a little tricky. So make sure you read carefully. Label B. Label a point that lies at 4.5 as B. Okay. Label a point that lies at 4.5 as B, and that is okay. So 4.5 will be, this is 4, and half will be right here. So that will be, this will be B right here, 4.1/2. Okay. So coming from the origin, remember that. Label C, whose distance from 0 is 5 more than that of A. Okay, so now we have to do now addition of fractions here. So it's going to be 5 more than that of A. So if this is 3, A is 3/4, right? What will be 5 plus 3/4? Let's write, let me see, 3/4 will be here. And this is, you know what, I didn't do this correctly. Let me show it to you correctly. This is 5 0/4 plus 3/4. There will be 0 plus 3 equals, sorry, 0 plus 3 equals 3, and the denominators are the same, so that will be, so this one will be, C will be a 0.5 3/4. So here's 5, 1, 2, 3. This is, this will be C, 5, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's going to be a 5 3/4. Got it? All right, and then our next one is, let me write the information down, 5 3/4. Plot point D, whose distance from 0 is 1/4 less than that of B. Okay, where B is right here, so we have to subtract 1 1/4 left. Okay, now so we're gonna do a subtraction. Let me use a different color marker so you can see it better. So B is 4 1/2, but we're gonna convert that one into fourths, so it's easier. So 4, we know that 1/2 equals 2/4. Okay, so that's gonna be 2/4, and we have to subtract 1 1/4. All right, let's do the whole numbers. 4 minus 1 equals 3, and 2 minus 1 equals 1, so that's 1/4. So now we know that D is going to be, the coordinate is 1 3/4. So now let's write it right here. So it's actually 3 1/4. That's the coordinate for D, 3 1/4. So 3 1/4 will be right here, 3 1/4, and that will be D. Okay. All right, so let's finish these 2 points, and then we're done for this lesson, and you can do your work at home. The distance of E from 0 is 1 3/4 more than that of D. So what is D? 3 1/4. So D is 3 1/4, and E has to be 1 3/4 more. So it's 1 3/4 more. So it's going to be 3 plus 1 equals 4, and 3/4 plus 1/4 equals 4/4. And when you add the 4 plus 4/4 equals 5. So now we know that the E is going to be on 5. So we're going to plot that on E. So that's going to be E right here. Okay. Okay, my friends, we're almost done with this. What is the coordinate of the point that lies halfway between A and D? And we're going to label that one point F. So let's look at A and D. What is the halfway point? So here is 8, 8, and D. We're going to count how many it takes, and then we'll just find out how much is that, right? Well, where the halfway point is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, look at that. So we count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, look at that. That's where the point F will be. Point F will be 2. And now we have to write it on the line here. Okay, my friends, make sure you watch this video if you need to help again. Take your notes, make these number lines on your notebook if you need to. Remember, you're going to be tested on this at the end of the module. So the more notes you have, the better off you will be, because you can always go back and check. Be sure to label your every single lesson. I didn't do it on this one right here. Yes, I did. Look, Module 6, Lesson 1. Give it a name so you know where your lessons are. Signing out, your coach, Mr. Magno, who wishes you the best and who wish to help you exercise your brain.